You got to maintain engagement, and so you build parasociality, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. Capitalism.
Parasociality. Stops just saying buzzwords again.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
Turn on the
I
buzzword
forgot.
button.
I'm sorry. We replaced thoughts with an algorithm that just.
Yep, that's right. I
with
just churn out fucking hashtags.
Well, I just got a list here of just like leftist terms, and then from your voice that we recorded over this podcast, I just put that into an AI, and I just have the AI say parasociality, imperialism.
Proximity alert. Vessel approaching. The vessel is hailing.
Space.
Warning. Warp core collapse in 10 seconds.
God, it's been a minute, hasn't it? Well, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just start. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it
Fucking
live.
thing sucks. There's
Fucking
no
thing
words on it. I'll write it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. That's all I remember of the clip. If it just going, fucking thing sucks.
Is
There
Bill
was a
O'Reilly
point
still
where I
alive?
no,
Yeah.
he's like the oldest podcaster.
Oh, sad.
He's just a podcast
yeah.
now.
Yeah, no, he's like all of his old elderly fans pay him like $5 a month on his personal website to hear him do the thing that he does the best.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He's not on Patreon.
Mitch McConnell still alive? Did he die yet?
No.
Or is it still inconclusive?
He's in a quantum state right now. We haven't heard anything back.
Wait,
Should
yeah,
something
so yeah,
happen
I mean-
here's McConnell right now.
Can we have, can that be like a thing through this episode where we just like touch base in the Twitter to see like if it's confirmed yet or not?
I haven't heard anything about this. What happened?
There's an official "Is Mitch McConnell dead yet?" Twitter account that you can just refresh the page. He like fell down. I don't know. The man's old as shit. He like
He
last,
passed out at a rest. He passed out having dinner.
Oh, I see.
Like at a restaurant, if I remember correctly.
I mean, it's very dangerous to get an erection at that age. The blood, you need that blood in the skull.
What
Yeah.
did he see? Did he see a minority orphan get literally steamrolled, like being just like crushed into fucking pavement? Is that what it was?
I don't know what he's into, but I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And just remember.
We're speculating, okay? We're speculating
Yeah.
that Mitch McConnell gets off on dead children. We're like the other side of QAnon.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just we're just blue anon because we all love the
Jesus.
Democratic Party and we all believe
There you
exactly the same things as QAnon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I
can
heard
we-
Trump's getting arrested this week. I heard the indictments are coming, baby. He's Mr. Trump. I'd like to see him wiggle his way out of this one, if you know what I mean. He's yeah.
This was clearly just a malfunction with the Mitch McConnell hologram, who they
Yeah.
occasionally bring out in the public every once in a while.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell died 20 years ago.
Oh fuck! God, the storm. Everyone thinks the storm happened recently or hasn't happened yet. No, the storm happened a very long time ago. We're in a long process of storming currently.
Yeah, we're in a
Hillary
storm
Clinton
cycle.
was in the Twin Towers
Yeah.
with Mitch McConnell.
Kissing.
They blew the fuck up.
they were boning. Just saw
I
a
can't-
stack of that gold before it was, pushed underground into the third unknown tower that everyone talks about.
Well, that's what they actually were
The
doing.
Falling
with
Man
the-
was actually Hillary Clinton. They never revealed the identity of Falling Man, but it was Hillary.
Yeah. Yeah, what actually happened when they took the towers down? It was all planned, all Alex Jones. And so what they
Alex
had was
Jones
a bunch
did
of gold at the top of the tower. You tell me. You tell me. And they had a bunch of gold at the top, okay? And when they fell, it just drove the gold into the underground. So the mole people got paid their debts. That was actually what the whole operation
Oh,
was
that's
about.
right. Yeah. Surface dwellers needed to pay
Yeah.
our debts. You know,
The mole people are so greedy.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, they keep
No, the
they
mole
keep
people
the
are
they,
good. Remember,
yeah, they
the
keep
mole
the-
people
yeah.
are like good, right?
yeah, because they keep the core of the molten core of the Earth spinning. Otherwise, you know, we would Earth would cease to exist.
Well,
yeah,
you know?
they're
they
good,
keep,
but we have a
saving
debt
the mole
relationship.
children. They're saving the mole children from the cabal,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Am I,
the mole cabal. Yeah.
am
I thought the mole children were just like children being trafficked. Like they're not like
Oh,
elves or something like that.
Yeah, but it's for a good cause.
wait. So they're not literally mole children. That's just what the QAnon people. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm
they're not
pretty
literally
sure-
mole children?
I'm pretty sure we lost where this was. What we're making up.
I mean, I
the
bet if
story's
you asked
falling
two
apart at the
different,
seams.
if you ask two different Q people, you'd get two different answers.
That's so true.
That's why it's so successful as a conspiracy theory. You can franchise it out. It's like the McDonald's of conspiracies. You can have your own QAnon thing with its own little ball pit with maybe your QAnon restaurant has an N64 in it, and and they can all coexist, and everyone can enjoy all their favorite conspiracy theories.
I hear
at a
you
low
can
price.
get wine at the French QAnon.
Oh.
I can't. I've been out of touch with the cabal discourse recently, because ever since the QAnon anonymous guys went AWOL.
They went AWOL.
It's funny. I just watched an episode. Listened to an episode like yesterday.
Yeah, they went on tour, and then they took some break, and I thought that they've been gone for longer than they actually are, because they stopped uploading to SoundCloud apparently. So I just haven't been getting the new episodes.
Oh,
I just need to put them on my podcast tracker. That also explains why Julian Field has been messaging me back recently. I thought he was still gone, and I was like, well, hey, I don't want to bring you onto the show when you're exploring the dumbs for your podcast. So
Yeah, go just get on your cell phone outside the conference and talk to us about Star Trek. That sounds like a great time for everyone.
well, because
This is like how,
wait till you get home.
literally once a week, still to this day, 5 years later, there's one comment of someone being like, "Damn, I've been looking for this channel since 2018. I thought you guys stopped making videos." Oh well, welcome back to the fold, I guess. Did you guys have some catching up to do?
yeah, man, imagine all the content they have now. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm like, that's. I mean, they must not have really wanted it that badly. Because come on,
It's because it's easy to find. If you look at all.
Oh,
Eric.
Yeah.
Well, I am pretty bad at this, because one of my favorite YouTubers who also went AWOL apparently has been doing blogs for a long time, and well,
Oh, you're talking about Big Joel?
no. No, that's
because he started a second channel. It's
Follower
pretty
of
great.
Little Joel. I'm a big fan of Little Joel and his side project Big Joel. I'm talking about Mr. B-Tongue, kind of a blast from the past. He kind of exploded onto the scene as one of the proto bread tubers, then left, and maybe he does blogs every once in a while.
Cool.
Really
Maybe he's not a weird. Maybe he won't come back and be a weird sex pest. That'd be great.
He's cool. He was early cool too. I'd really love to. I want you back, Mr. B-Tongue. He has the same energy as Do Not Eat. If any of y'all follow.
Yeah.
Do
Oh, I
Not
love
Eat.
that guy.
Yeah. And except Do Not Eat, he stopped doing his YouTube channel because he got subsumed by the podcasting lifestyle, where two significantly less popular people rope him into doing all the work on a podcast. Now, when I know that was me insulting him, and I know that that sounds like I'm referencing this podcast when this podcast is exactly the opposite, where I have gotten to more successful friends at different points in time to then come and lift myself up by doing.
Yeah, but we're cowards. We ran away. This is the only thing we do now.
Yeah,
That's true.
we're just
Yeah, that's
podcasters
true.
now.
That's
We don't stream anymore.
I think I got
lazy
scammed in a different way. Actually,
Yeah.
now that I think about it.
Fucking
Shit.
I get excited to stream again, and then I go on fucking. Never, you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yep. No, I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
I'm just gonna break these barrels. You know what? Can we start like a meme where it's like, hey, if you hear mouse clicking in the background, what game do you think Zots is playing?
No,
Post in
we're
the
not
comments.
we're not starting that meme. The meme is you are. If the moment I hear a fucking mouse click, I'm coming. I'm like triggering another explosive in your house until you raise the strength on NVIDIA broadcast.
You're gonna release another fucking cricket in my house.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna give you Havana syndrome.
No, we can't say that anymore. Havana syndrome's been proven to be fake.
That's
came
true.
out.
Yeah, well,
That's
that's what they
true.
want you to think, okay?
Oh fuck, you're right.
If I talk about Havana syndrome being real at all, we're gonna lose funding by the CIA. So we really
that's
gotta.
true, that's
we
true.
really gotta. Okay, Eric, in the future, if you include any of this part in the actual recording, make sure to cut this out. We do not want to lose our defense contracts.
Did we have to do it? Isn't the new official line that Havana syndrome is fake? Didn't they just pull a big 180 on it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Well, I think
We're keeping the money though, just FYI.
Well, that's exactly, I think that's
exactly.
exactly what the statement said. The statement was like, okay, with CA going like, okay, all right, Havana syndrome isn't real, or more specifically, Cuba did not use microwaves to target any operatives, but we're not discounting the lived experiences of our operatives who are suffering from imposter syndrome and now have free healthcare for their entire life, if paid for by the government.
I mean, listen, if I had Cuban insurgents fucking taking dumps in my toilet when I was gone, I think I would be a little perturbed as well.
Where
Probably
did the
not
shit smell come from?
Oh, god damn it! Fucking Pedro left another upper decker. Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
They have a
I
healthier
had no
lifestyle.
idea that was like a real thing. The Cuban diplomatic service that will sneak into your house and take a dump, and just not flush it. Just so you know
real?
that
That's real.
that is a real thing.
That is a real thing. Yeah. Yeah, they would just the Cuban Secret Service would just when U.S. fucking operatives would go shopping or whatever, they'd raid their apartment and just take a shit and not flush.
That's so cool.
Yeah. They go in there and just leave one little thing, they rearrange your bookshelf, or just do these little gaslighty things that I fucking love, just to make people feel crazy and or feel watched. I will listen to one episode of that Vice Havana Syndrome podcast, and it was oh yeah, apparently that's just a really common thing.
Yeah, I think that's it would be really great if you get the one that's just slowly replacing pictures of or slowly adding really bad cutouts of Castro and all their family pictures that they got laying around. It's in the picture frame.
That'd be pretty good.
Replacing your toilet with the same toilet, but the hole is way smaller.
The toilet seat, there's just a ping pong size hole in the middle of it.
Yeah.
This isn't flushing like it used to. What's happening?
No, that's the same toilet. I don't know what you're talking about.
Trump is right. These things just do not work like they used to.
Yeah.
Have
we done it?
You gotta flush 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times.
Are we gonna start this podcast?
No.
Are we gonna do the intro?
We already started the podcast.
We've been vamping for 30 minutes now. We haven't even done
30 minutes. We've been vamping for exactly 13 minutes. Okay, it has been a little bit longer than I thought. All right, Zots, if you insist. Welcome to Left Trek, your leftist Star Trek podcast. I'm Eric. I'm a genius. I'm a Sigma genius. I'm trapped on a planet with a woman who just does not understand me. And joining me as always are the woman in question, Brian.
Hello.
And also my secret computer wife, Zot.
Oh.
Yeah, and I do vibrate from the inside. Yes. Hello.
And joining us is an attractive Vulcan scientist friend, android, who I'm going to install my brain in. Please say hello, Eliot.
What's up? Happy to be here.
Special returning guest, Eliot, ETC from Internet Today. What is Eliot IT taken on Twitter by a tech support person that works in IT whose name is Eliot?
I honestly have not checked. I don't know. This is gonna be my display or my fucking handle until Twitter goes away, which could be tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah,
It's not worth the effort anymore.
I'm so excited. This is so interesting for Twitter. This is
I'm letting myself just like lapse out of Twitter because like I'm not like because they're taking away like the 2-factor authentication, and I keep getting notes or like updates when I log into it, and they're like, we're gonna cancel your account if you don't take away 2-factor authentication. I'm just like, I hope you fucking do.
Yeah,
is that what they're doing?
I actually like what Elon's done with Twitter, because like before, and I was waiting for this to happen to me. It finally happened to me the other day. This exciting new feature where random tweets of yours will get replies from someone being like, "Hey, if you need a clean GAT, call or email this DM." Yeah, I had someone offer me a untraceable firearm on Twitter. That would have never happened under Jack. So
yeah, shouts out to @GlockDaddy.
Yeah. Big Glock Daddy.
It's actually a famous account.
You're absolutely right. I'm very glad that Elon came on, took over the company just to arm Antifa super soldiers. Thank you, Elon. That's great.
That's unfortunate, because instead of free illegal guns, all I've been getting is death threats from VTuber fans.
Well, yeah, you really kicked the hornet's nest with that one.
Yeah,
that was.
I'm proud. I'm happy with it. Hey, it popped off. I need to start tweeting more about VTubers. Apparently,
I'm just looking forward to those comments. I'm looking forward to those comments. Like, comment, subscribe, hate watch us. It's all fine,
one's come through. No one's come through with that. That's why I haven't really been very concerned about the death threats that I got on the first one.
Because they're not even trolling your your project.
My name on Twitter is literally like Eric, from Left Trick, and they're like, I'm not even gonna bother figuring out what Left Trick is.
Well, we don't have fake anime titties, and none of us talk in high and up pitched voices to appeal to people with pedophilic tendencies. So
Oh fuck!
There have been so many of those clips of some woman speaking with like a really light like anime voice, like talking about how much like she hates queers, or the Jews run the world. It's oh god, it's so dark.
It's all very weird. Like at least with like furries, they're really good at rooting out the more reactionary elements, but like there's still Nazi furries, and it's like, buddy, do you not understand that you would be in the second or third train car? And this fucking VTuber shit is like, and like, I don't use this word lightly. It is what's the word? Fuck, I'm drawing a giant blank here. I just had it. It
creepy.
Is no, what's the No, it's the word for degenerate. It's degenerate. It is actually degenerate.
Hey, hold on. There are weebs. There are degenerate weebs out there, such as myself, that don't do what they do. Okay. Hashtag not all weebs.
Left Track officially does not support the use of the term degenerate or any of its derivatives, such as degen. No, I'm someone admittedly, I well, I guess I don't really watch VTubers, but I watch a lot of VTuber clips. I'm up on the lore with a lot of VTuber stuff, and God, because it's one of those things where it's like,
that sounds like it sucks.
It does suck. It's one of those things where it's like the whole VTuber thing, it all stems from like idol culture stuff, and this is especially with like how HoloLive expand the market and they're like an idol thing. And part of that is that you belong to a company, you're not yourself, you're not supposed to talk about any politics stuff, you're supposed to remain like pure, like normie lib like stuff. You're never supposed to say anything even remotely controversial, never supposed to even you don't even mention like identity or race or anything. Like I was shocked when like one member of like HoloLive Indonesia said that she was gay. I was like, what? Gay? The word gay spoken on HoloLive? How scandalous! It's that is the breeding ground for these fucking like Nazi weirdos who like go into any community and just try to make it progressively more toxic by just like memifying a discourse and then just slowly incorporating their bullshit into it, and I'm sure everyone listening to this has seen as well as all of you has seen exactly what I'm talking about happen in a fucking million different ways in a million different communities.
Oh, now, do you think that's the same thing that happened to Data in this episode? Do you think that?
Yeah, he definitely took the red pill in this one.
Yeah,
and it went about as well as it usually does. It is super interesting. It's super interesting seeing like the mind of a old school womanizing Irishman being planted in a young man's body just does not have the same effect. It comes off just not cool anymore.
No, not at all. And it did feel very pilled. I mean, that's something I didn't think about it until just now, but
when he's like mumbling under his breath because like that Chad Picard is like swooping out his Stacy, like I was like, oh, this is some he's some incel shit. He's black pilled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True.
He's cursing Picard's jawline like at the fucking
just an extra quarter inch.
Jawed Frenchman, motherfucker.
I printed this. I printed these calipers at the Replimat, and I'm going to measure Picard's skull in his sleep.
Come on, Brian. Be serious. Data naturally has a caliper function just built into his programming.
You're so right.
If they meet a lot of new alien races, they're gonna need that
to figure out how IQ works for other races.
No, that's season 1. We're in season 2 now. It's better. It's better. I promise.
We've reached episodes that are watchable. Like you can like just have them on, and it's not like except for one so far. There's been a
few. There's been a couple, but yeah, there's the racism episode, the classic racism episode. But go journey back to Left Trek episode like what 2, 3, whatever. You'll find it.
Do you mean Code of Honor?
Is Zatz, are you talking about Code of Honor?
Huh?
Never mind. So we're in season 2. We're on episode 6 as listed on Netflix at the very least. The Schizoid Man. So getting right into it. The episode starts with Pulaski doing the narration. I think it's the first time someone else has done the narration besides Picard.
Is it the doctor?
Yeah. That's the dog. That's the new doctor.
I've never seen this woman. What happened to Crusher?
She got too woke and was fired out of a cannon into the sun. Why
did they send her shitty little son with her?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hate that kid.
That's what happened to her in real life, because she's like okay, so Gene Roddenberry's lawyer is constantly like, you know, pinching my butt and like
Oh shit.
and I don't think literally, but perhaps literally, because there was a lot of awful things like that behind the scenes. They're bringing back Maria Sirtis, a Troy, and being like, your tits aren't big enough, honey, stuff them. And there's like two producers just like staring at them as she like stuffs like stuff into her bra. Like dark shit happening behind the scenes. So fuck, I always forget her real name. What's Crusher's real name?
No.
Brian.
Shit. Fuck. Shit. God damn it. Put me on the spot like this.
It's okay. Just add it in post. Oh, and everyone pause. And then
Remember,
there you go.
Gates McFadden.
Gates
it.
McFadden. God damn it. Thank you.
What a
Wait, so
fake
she-
sounding name.
She left for personal reasons.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly. I know much more about Tasha leaving than I know about her leaving, but I'm pretty much 100% sure she left because it was a shit show. She imagined that the series is not going to continue. It was just an awful production that was just like it was.
They gave her
smelly.
fleas.
It was hot. They gave her fleas.
They
gave
did give
her
her fleas.
I forgot about that. They gave her. There's one episode where they're like sitting in like fucking sand, like her and Picard, they're just like fucking covered in sand, or especially she's covered in sand, and apparently the sand is just covered with fleas. Like they got it down from like the fucking like Santa Monica beach or something, just scooped up some sand, and it was infested with fleas, and she was just sitting in it for hours. They were just biting the fuck out of her. Yeah, so that happened, and so I believe she stepped away from the show. And her character in fiction, she went to go become head of Starfleet Medical, which may or may not actually be canon. And then they left her fucking kid behind because he's got so much to learn on the Enterprise. He learns a lot in this episode.
In the future, child labor is totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have a
he-
12-year-old drive your starship. He's very smart.
He's interning. Okay, that's
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
Are they paying him? Because if not,
Do you
that's,
pay? Do you
I got
pay your
suspicions.
interns?
They
Taking
never-
applicants?
I've never had one. It felt somewhat unethical. But I guess
Fair.
in space, whatever.
and also,
at Space and
this is-
Corridor Digital, both completely acceptable to have
You gotta-
interns do all your work.
you got to think also. This isn't just like a job. This is like
It's a career.
No,
this is
your
like
family.
almost like child soldier shit right here.
Yeah, this
Yeah. Which
is.
is like, oh,
No.
Yeah,
Much
this
like-
is the
much-
Navy. This is this fucking Sea Org. They're doing Sea
Yeah.
Org.
yeah,
Scientology.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually,
He
this
signed
whole show is
It's
just
in your
signed
contract.
forever.
Man.
I don't
Forever,
know.
ever, ever.
I don't know what exactly you're all talking
Yeah.
about. So I'm just going to imagine that they're doing White Squall.
Well, Eric, when Gene Roddenberry was first coming up as a sci-fi writer, there was another writer named L. Ron Hubbard who was also achieving some level of success and went a decidedly different path career-wise.
Just a little.
and
Which
and
way,
yada yada
Western
yada.
science fiction
Fast
writer?
forward a little bit, you've got ships in the middle of the ocean with children working on them 18 hours a day because they signed in blood a 10,000-year contract with the Lord. I don't know. It gets a little muddy there, but yeah, that's what Wesley's
Something
doing.
about aliens, space volcanoes,
Yeah.
spirit souls. All I know is, hey, now the algorithm's gonna pop off for us because now we're just gonna get fucking death threats from Scientology for left trick. So hell yeah.
We've never actually gotten any pushback from we've had some controversial quote unquote guests on Left Trek, and not once have we ever gotten any kind of like pushback or like harass or like splash damage harassment. But now we're gonna get sued by the Church of Scientology.
Another great thing Elon did is I get Scientology ads all the time on Twitter. now.
Thank God, frankly.
I've been getting a lot of
Xeno,
just like
excuse
wealth
me.
management ads, like a lot of ads that like before. It seems like all the mobile game ads kind of like left Twitter, which is unfortunate because God, I love mobile game ads. They're just they're the perfect fucking weird shit. I love them so much. I want to. I've actually like written a script for like a video essay on fucking mobile ads. I'm obsessed with mobile ads. But yeah, I've been getting the most fucking boring ads in the entire world, and also added every once in a while saying that like, oh, I've won a contest. Oh cool, I've just gotta DM someone my social security number and I can get my contest winnings. Okay, so all right, apologies. We return to the episode. The intro, no star date. First episode without a star date. What's with that? Pulaski doesn't care about what the star date is. Well, neither do I, because I don't know what the star date means actually in fiction.
Have we been? I don't think we've been paying attention. Don't start something we haven't done.
to start it. No, well, sorry. I did notice it, but the only other confirmation I have from it is the IMDb trivia where someone else says that this is the first one, and then but it has 0 out of 1 upvotes, so it might not be true. But we'll see once we get the correction
Stargate?
squad. Excuse me.
Stargate?
Did I say Stargate at some point?
No, I did.
Star Trek.
No, I was making a joke. I'm sorry.
I don't understand humor. Okay, I told you I'm a brilliant scientist. I don't have time for jokes.
Comedy?
I only have time for misogyny.
There you go. You know, as is true in the science community.
So
Yeah. When I saw Pulaski like opening up the episode, I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
Here we go.
Here we go.
Pulaski racism in this episode. Shocking. Hardly any racism at all. Just misogyny. Weirdly enough, very season 1.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust running this old dude past some fucking Brazil nuts at the grocery store.
You know, that's true, but hopefully, well, I mean, luckily we didn't have to deal with any of that. We got blissfully. He didn't have to see anybody who didn't look like him. So, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So Geordi and Troy, they're going down to Data's quarters, and Troy is like, Data's been acting real insecure recently. And so they walk into a room, and after a moment, it's revealed that Data's growing a beard, and they're just fucking like laughing. Troy is fucking laughing her ass off, and I'm just like, Jesus, he just looks like he has a shitty fake beard on. I'm like, in the universe of the show, like they must just be laughing at the fact he has a beard. Like Troy leaves the room, I'm like, it's not that funny. I mean, he has hair. Why is this so weird?
Riker's got a beard.
I like that they started Data off with a beard, because it's like that. Wasn't that like a thing that happened in the original Star Trek series with like the evil versions of themselves? They had beards, right? They
often had like goatees or little mustaches
or some shit like that. Yeah.
Goatees,
so this episode kind of like tips the hat or whatever, or tips their hand a little bit to like, you know, be like, oh, is this?
It's foreshadowing. It's
It's
literary.
a little like, yeah. I
real
like
heads
that.
know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, so
I saw that scene as sort of the beginning of his red pilling, because he's
measuring jawline.
Data's a nice
got insecure
guy.
at his weak jaw, so he grew a beard.
Yeah. He's a nice
true.
guy. He sees Commander Riker, this like attractive, you know, a real Chad, and he's like, I'm gonna try to be like him. He's a nice guy. I'm gonna grow a beard to look like him. And then he shows off his beard, and everyone laughs at him, and that's how he gets into Space Andrew Tate.
So what actually happened here? I kind of like, this seems like a weird reaction. No, this was Marina Sirtis's genuine, the actor that plays Troy, her genuine reaction to seeing Brett Spider Data with a beard, and she literally can't stop fucking laughing, so she just leaves.
Why is it funny? Why is it funny?
When I struck my beard,
just continue.
When I
I think that's probably what did it for her, was Data's line.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Data's line that like pushed her over the edge. We
Yeah.
were just like, no, I can't do it.
Oh,
That line
did
did
that
kill me,
happen?
too.
Did that happen first before she left?
No, but right before she was leaving, yeah,
Okay.
he said that, yeah.
Yeah. So in the actor literally like broke and decided to leave the scene, and the other two just continued on, and they just kept that take, which I mean it is kind of like uncanny, because like obviously she wasn't supposed to have that, the character wasn't supposed to have that extreme reaction, but that's funny.
It worked.
There's another scene that's very similar to that, which takes place I think in season 6. So don't worry, we'll get to that. I'll remember it. See,
Hell
See
yeah,
you
like,
next year, everybody.
My kid will have just graduated from middle school. It'll be awesome.
So and also I also have a note here. Could the beard metaphor, could this be like a queer metaphor, like a Nightmare on Elm Street?
I don't think so.
Nightmare on Elm Street, which is the one with Freddy? That's Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
okay. Is it like Nightmare on Elm Street 2? Is this like a thing? Because he has like an identity within him that's like terrorizing him. You just like Freddy Krueger. Anyway.
I mean,
No.
I get where you're coming from, but no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm sorry.
So they get a distress call from the planet. There's a woman there. She's so I immediately clocked this guy as like, oh, okay, the smartest guy in the entire world, secluded alone on a planet. He's on that Sigma grind set, but he has a woman there. But they immediately are confronted with a trolley problem. So they get a distress call from a ship. There's 2012. That's a reference to the year 2012 where the world ended. So there's a trolley problem. Do you go save humanity's greatest mind, or do you let 2012 people suffocate to death? Picard is kind of on the fence about it, and Pulaski's like, no, we have to go save the thousands of people that are currently suffocating to death, rather than the scientists that we don't even know what exactly is wrong with. So big score for Pulaski here, making up a little bit for the racism that she's been doing to date in all of the previous season 2 episodes.
Yeah, Pulaski being really very right about that one. Congratulations.
That's fine. Yeah. However, she did stick to her trope that like right before she left the bridge, she did throw a refrigerator magnet at the side of Data's head, just to still see if it's stuck.
Like a cheese square on a cat's face. She's just launching magnets at Data anytime she's in range. She's vastly exceeded her replicator rations just in magnets. She can just keep on her at all points in time.
Data anytime she sees him. That's it.
So Pulaski, so they send everyone down. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna send like a little team and like one doctor down to see what's going on with the scientist. They're gonna transport, and then we're also gonna like gonna warp, so it might be a little fucked up. And Troy's like, wait, what do you mean it'll be a little fucked up? Real Geralt from The Witcher going through a portal energy here. It's like, what do you mean? What exactly is gonna happen? They're like, aha, you'll see, it'll be fun, it'll be a surprise. So and then they zoom off to go save the people that are currently suffocating to death. And the guy just Pulaski is being replaced by a Vulcan woman who I was like, God, she looks really familiar. Isn't she like a recurring character? Because she just looks so familiar. And the answer is that no. So this character is mentioned like over and over again in name throughout the series, but never actually appears. But she herself reappears several times in. I think every single she's a recurring Trek actor. She plays Femme Q on Voyager. She plays a Worf's not wife, but the mother of Worf's child. Well, spoiler. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that sometime soon, perhaps. So no, she's just a recurring. She's a recurring character. Great actor. She's playing the Vulcan lady. he speaks for a moment, and I'm like, oh no, he's not like a recluse. He's like a cool genius. He's like Dr. House.
He's like Elon Musk.
Yeah,
God.
I initially was like, when I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing the Elon Musk episode. Oh, this is perfect. We're bringing Eliot on for the Elon Musk episode. But he didn't have nearly he didn't have the energy of Elon Musk. Maybe that's just because I guess he had the persona of what like normies perhaps used to think that Elon Musk is like, and I was like, oh no, he's not like Elon Musk because he can actually like. He can talk to people. He can like string like a joke and like a sentence together without. Well, I mean,
yeah, he's like a Tony Stark sort of character.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
Elon Musk's best friend, Tony Stark.
This is. He was giving me more like proto Rick vibes, from like Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Okay, that's valid too, for sure.
That's a good one. He is very Rick. I just have Dr. House on the brain because they've been streaming it.
I do like how the show, unless I wasn't paying close attention, but they, aside from him saying at one point that he trained the guy who invented whatever the fuck data is, I don't know what exactly this man is responsible for and why he is held in such high esteem. The only evidence we have, I found this hilarious, is a tiny shitty fucking robot like in the corner that looked like the prop department just sort of threw together out of trash.
It's a broken light, right?
Builds his own robots. But like, yeah, we're given no other context as to like this man's importance. We're just told he's very smart and important. He's the greatest mind, and that's why he lives on this planet by himself, doing smart things.
Yeah, like 100% like tell don't show for the setup for this.
Yeah.
He brought back the well, first of all, he was living like a Chad, and he brought back the our time. He brought sugar tits back into the lexicon. That's what it was. That's
yeah. That's why he's regarded as a okay, all right, yeah, that's fair.
A great one, yeah.
So he starts speaking for a moment, and it's clear that he's Rick Sanchez. He's cool and based, and he talks and he's horny. He loves the ladies. We get a little philosophy from the guy as he talks like who is and who is not people. Okay, doctors aren't people. if you ask patients, okay, all right, based. Okay, I'm with you so far. Doctors aren't people as long as you're talking to patients or nurses. He should have said that, but he didn't. He's not based enough. And then he says women aren't people, they're women. I'm like, okay, well, you lost me there, sorry. And then he goes and kisses their hand.
True scum.
Yeah. he's
Oh my god.
He's a little he's a little bastard.
Yeah, he's like, trans women aren't women, and also, you know what, cis women aren't women, and then drops the mic and just explodes.
Well, so I'm gonna take an alternate. yeah, there you go. Alternate take. He goes. Trans women aren't people; they're women. Then he kisses the trans Vulcan's hand.
There you go.
So we get a little denial of trans misogyny, acceptance of regular misogyny.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're working towards.
Yeah, hey, we'll be there in a couple years' time. We're working on it.
Yeah, that's all I ask. I want to be able to call the trans woman toots and have that just be okay.
I can't. Next time I talk to Nicotine, I will be certain to call her sugar tits.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's what they want. That's what we want. It's what we're working towards.
Yeah. Well, the peaceful future where. God damn it. this is the dream that Gene Roddenberry had in mind. Universal acceptance of calling women sugar tits. Okay, so the guy immediately after he's done fueling up the hot Vulcan, he walks over to Data and then looks him up and down. He's like, "Oh wow, what an ugly piece of shit! It must have been Dr. Soon that made this fucking trash can." Data's like, "What? Well, you knew my creator? You knew Dr. Soon?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'm your grandfather or whatever." And the Vulcan doctor's behind him. He's scanning him, and he diagnosed him with some illness for which he's in the terminal stages of. Okay, fascinating nerd bullshit here. Okay, so the illness that he gets is called Darnay's disease, which is an allusion to the character Charles Darnay from A Tale of Two Cities, which is a story about identity theft and imposture, and it was previously referenced in Star Trek media.
Well, isn't that
He's got
clever?
imposter syndrome.
Yeah. This is really an episode about imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Yeah.
They just didn't have these terms back then, or they would have just called it imposter syndrome. That's actually a good name for an episode, imposter syndrome.
It's a way better name than the fucking ableist shit that they named this one.
Yeah. The Schizoid Man. Excuse me.
Yeah. Ooh.
They didn't have it advanced enough. Like I would, if you told me that there was like that's like a classic name for a fucking Star Trek. That's like a TOS, imposter syndrome. That's cool.
They should have called
that.
it like this. The space R word. That would have been a better title.
Oh my god. It would have been very like 90, for sure.
Wait, what? It's a medical term.
He looks at the Vulcan doctor, like raised an eyebrow at it. It was like, it's a medical term.
God.
So there's a commercial break, and we come back to the Enterprise. Off screen, they save the life of all of the colonists that were suffocating in space, and they're coming back to meet everyone. The guy is whistling the fucking Wizard of Oz in his lab, and he asks Data to call him Grandpa. And Data's like, I've never heard of this tune before. It's the Wizard of Oz. He's singing like the main fucking like it's like a leitmotif that goes throughout like many songs of the Wizard of Oz. It's like the theme tune of the fucking like Wizard of Oz. This incredibly famous story. And Data's like, I've never heard of this shit before.
I thought that he was. I didn't know that he was gonna go with the Tin Man thing. I thought he was gonna go with the Scarecrow thing. Like I thought this was just gonna be like a whole, like, oh, this is an episode where everyone picks on Data again. Where it's just gonna be like, oh, did the doctor give you a good brain or a bad brain? Like type shit. That's what I thought. I didn't know.
Interesting. Well, that actually begs the question that I should have asked earlier. Eliot, how much of this episode did you remember before you watched it? Eliot used to be our Rube before we got Zots on to be the Rube.
I don't think I ever saw this one.
Okay,
I think this is my first time seeing this episode.
Okay, well, well, I had another follow-up question, but I forgot it, so we'll move on. Yeah, so he's whistling the Wizard of Oz. There's like a continuity error. Well, not a continuity error, but then they say like the wrong song.
If I only had a heart. Yeah, that's not the fucking song. That's how you know he's got terminal imposter syndrome. He's got hours to live.
He's dying.
Yeah,
he's dying.
He's got hours to live, and he's reliving fucking Judy Garland movies.
Okay, Grandpa.
So after the commercial break, so once again, we get like a really there's a kind of like, I was kind of rolling my eyes when this scene started, because how many fucking times in this series has someone like have looked at Data and been like, you don't understand, humans feel things. You're not a human because you don't feel things. Feeling things is important because it is important. It's valuable for the human condition. I'm so fucking tired of that, because that's been happening like over and over again. But the writing is a step up from most, especially when he is like when he claims that Data is neither like living nor dead. He simply exists, and he's like, look at me, a dying man taking time to mourn you who is still living, and like.
Yeah,
I think that was
good
actually
line.
cool. Yeah, I think I think both of those were cool lines. Good writing here, honestly. And so brilliant scene. So the brilliant scientist reveals that he's neurodivergent. He's like, aha, I have a hard time understanding what's funny too, Data. Throughout all my life, we're not so like you and me. We cut back and Troy reveals to his assistant that he's attracted to her. Seems kind of inappropriate.
Yeah, God, there's like some fatal flaws to the plot of this episode involving that entire thing, which starts with. So, okay, first of all, he says she's been living on that planet since she was very young.
Yeah, she's directly stated as being like really ignorant. Like she doesn't know what she goes up to Worf. And it's like, are you a Romulan? And Worf gets mad because he's racist.
Yeah, so this he's got a mail order child bride basically.
Yeah, because there was only
something
two,
like that,
right?
Yeah,
before.
basically.
Yeah, but because before like they did like the drive by before they kicked out the away team out the fucking window and told them to tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll through that wall.
Yeah, they did say like, you know, oh, there's only two people on this entire planet.
Yeah, so that like how did that they don't explain how this arrangement came to be, and it's a bit sus. And then it's like, okay, well, even without the creepier sides of it, like you have two people who are apparently attracted to each other alone on a planet for God knows how fucking long, and this has just never come up.
Yeah, age gap. This is age gap. Age gap discourse has evolved into the future, and now they understand that it's wrong. It's wrong for an attractive young lady to date.
I mean, good on him for not taking advantage of his position of authority. You know,
sure.
They do make it very clear. It's like, no, this wasn't creepy. He didn't take advantage of her. There's not like weird things going on here. Okay,
he may have slapped her on the ass a couple times. You know, but that's just for a good game. You know,
he had a countdown clock until she turned 18, but he was fine. Okay, he didn't do anything before that.
This whole episode is what happens when you die with just like balls full of cum. You got to bust before you go, or bad things happen. You leave behind. Did
Dr. Sue program you for any other tasks, Data?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Make sure to call me Grandpa.
Oh, Grandpa. Now are you fully functional, Data?
Now I'm just replacing him in my mind with the Joker from that Joel Haver video. Where, do y'all know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, the Joker, baby?
No, it's the Joker. The Joker has like a scheme, and this is a little animated thing. The Joker has like a scheme. He's like, you see, Batman, here I have a good friend of mine. You see, when this clock turns down to midnight, she turns 18 and goes from being cute to being sexy. And Batman's like, this Joker, this is the most fucked up thing you've ever done. I'm gonna kill you. I'm literally gonna kill you now. Same energy that this guy has. So Troy, Troy comes out is like, oh yeah, don't worry, your mentor, this guy that you've spent like, I don't know, like how old is she? 30 years, 20 years, 10 years.
He's not that young.
Yeah, she's not like a baby. She's like a kind of a scientist in her own right, or like she's like. I mean, it's never stated exactly what her age is, but she's like, oh, she's too young, whatever. But yeah, so Troy's like, oh, he was super attracted to you. Weird shit to say. And then she's like, well, I'm super hot for him too, but the problematic age gap, it's unfortunate because I would have fucking rocked his world if I was just a little older, you know.
Hate that. Stop.
Very uncomfortable scene.
I would prefer you not.
we know so So we know something's going on with the guy because he's acting kind of like weird. He strays up. He's back in his room with Data. They're alone together. They're hanging out. They're talking, and he just says like, I won't be dying after all, and very sinister events take place, and they're like, oh, Data, can you be killed or can you not be killed? Data reveals he has an off button, and in a really great line, I love how like evil this is. This is like so cool. I love the writing here, the scene construction. It's like where the guy's like, now where exactly would Sood put such a device, and because they're talking about Data's off button, and then Data's about to like tell him or something, and he goes, wait, let me guess, and it just immediately cuts away. I love that. I love that scene.
We never, yeah. So what did he do to Data that they couldn't show us in 90s
God, I'm
television?
glad that they didn't show us. I didn't want to. No, I don't want to speculate.
He did a transfer.
Let's
he did
move
a transfer
on.
of information.
He found the off button in the asshole.
Now, so that begs the question as far as Data's asshole. So he says he's fully functional, but exactly how fully functional are we talking here?
Fully
Data does not know pain.
Fully functional.
That is.
Does he have a cum button? Does where
it's called the prostate area.
Exactly. That's obviously, Brian. That's what the prostate's called.
The only person to know is Tasha Yar,
and she's dead.
And she's dead.
Yeah.
And the only other person to know about Data's off switch is the doctor, and she's gone. So the real doctor, I refuse to acknowledge. Fucking Pulaski.
You refuse to acknowledge her medical license because she's a racist. Yeah. Fair.
And racist. And I mean, like, just like really bad. Like how she even treats Jordy. You know what I mean? Like it's just she's just not good. She's not a good person.
There's some really interesting stuff. But don't worry. Apparently, according to Renegade Cut, she gets better. All right, Leon. I'll stay with you.
We'll see.
I don't know about this. So here's the question that I was going to ask. Okay, to Elliot. So Elliot, you've never seen this. When did you realize what the twist was when he was putting his brain into Data? Was it immediately like when he's like,
immediately
okay,
yeah, right when he's at this point,
as soon as he starts explaining that he's like uploading his thoughts to the computer, I was like, I can tell exactly where this is going. But I guess at the time that would have been a somewhat novel sci-fi concept for mass audiences.
Because that's what I was wondering, like, because they don't really hide it, but then I also spent way too long thinking about, like, what does the writer of this episode think that the audience is thinking right now with regards to, like, what to this twist? Because I think even back then everyone probably picked up on. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting question. But you both picked up on it immediately. When I started watching the episode, I remembered the plot like instantly. There's also a very funny TNG edit about this episode that if I remember, I'll bring up.
I was hoping so, because this episode has so much good TNG edit content.
Have you seen? You're familiar with the TNG edit stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I watched them, but yeah, those used to, especially having no context, I found them quite funny. So you'll have to send me the one from this one.
Yeah, I'll insert it here.
Here, toss the ball ahead of me.
Anyone who commits any crime in the punishment zone dies.
The law is the law.
It's forbidden to disturb new plants.
Our peace is built on that.
Even a small thing? Such as ignoring the rule, keep off the grass?
Who wants to risk execution?
He's being held safely until sundown.
When he faces execution.
It sounds like an intriguing experiment.
I apologize, sir.
Mixed feelings for all of us.
I believe I have a few words to say, sir. Just look at that face.
That was a great speech, David.
Number one, I think we should get on with our mission. Mr. Crusher, scan. My apologies, Mr. Wolf.
I don't know how much what'll cut up, but all inserted here.
There'll definitely be a clip of Data just sliding across the bar and being like, "Hey, toots," like,
Hey, sugar tits.
Well, those
Hey,
are
tits,
like,
I'm hand in 2 places.
Hey, I'm fully functional over here. And I just want to say that you're easy on the old ocular receptors.
God.
There's those edits are so fucking good. He's just like 3D modeling of all the fucking like teapots that Picard has around everywhere. I've been very careful because even though every time segments from this get flagged like in the edit, they're like, oh no, don't worry, your Paramount's letting you use this for free, it's totally fine. And I just go, I don't fucking trust this at all. I just make the green screening effect way more dramatic until it can't recognize it anymore. It's also a stylistic choice for our wonderfully visually edited podcast. So I remembered immediately, but I kind of remember the episode of the like plot of this episode. And if it wasn't apparent before, it becomes apparent very quickly because Data comes back and he goes down to Tim Ford and he goes down to his assistant and he's like, it's me. Well, he doesn't go, it's me. He just makes it very clear that like, oh yes, I'm the guy. And she's like, oh, did the guy tell you these personal details about me? And he's like, no, I'm the guy. But she doesn't understand for quite a long.
She's a simple woman.
She's just a simple woman scientist.
No high school.
Yeah, homeschooled by this that she's been living with for the last foreseeable.
I wonder if I have to cut out the word. You know what? I will.
Oh no! Yeah, you probably should just bleep it.
I don't bleep a lot. I just to be safe, I'll have to bleep out. Which will be funny because now the audience.
Stop saying it.
The audience won't know what we're saying. Like when I was referring to a like over and over again, I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't say. I just bleeped it out. And everyone's like, who the fuck were you talking about?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We were talking about.
And I'm still gonna be bleeping it out here too.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's why I said it. Yeah, let's go.
By the way, good edit on the last episode that we did. I was like, oh wait, why does this? That was such a weird transition. Oh, I remember now.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that's
good
hilarious. Whatever.
Editing software has been and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
That is so true.
Editing is just like artistic lying. It's the only field of artistic lying that exists outside or independent of Irish culture. So Picard doesn't have much to say as they all go to his funeral. They have a really funny impromptu funeral where he's stuck inside where the guy's dead. Oh, the guy died. Did I say he died? The guy's dead. Data comes out and is like, my friend, he died in my arms. Yep. It's me, Data.
Yep, he's dead now. He's dead. That's yep. Before we move on, like, who was that actor? That old Irish actor? Because he's great.
I looked up a little bit about him. He has been in a few things. It's William Morgan Shepherd. I think he has a recurring role in a bunch of Star Trek stuff. Apparently he was I think the kid's dad in Transformers, maybe. I'm not certain. He was in Gettysburg, but he was the Klingon commander in Star Trek. The Undiscovered Country. If anyone is familiar with that.
That's like the one Star Trek movie I had on VHS, and I watched a lot.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's a prolific actor. Is he dead? Yes, he died in 2019. That's
recent.
That's Death Watch for you folks. Yeah, we look up a lot of these people, and a lot of people die. A lot of these people that are on these have died.
Hey, speaking of Death Watch, is Mitch McConnell still alive?
All right, Mitch McConnell.
Oh yeah. Let's check.
And this episode's only I'm on like a you'll be very impressed. I'm on like a 2-day weekly production schedule.
Yeah.
Trek now. Vyvanse is amazing. I can't fucking believe myself.
Hell yeah.
God, this guy has been in so much shit. He acted in like a million fucking video games. He was in oh, I also want to look this up. He's Katai in Voyager. He's Moby Dick. He's Space Moby Dick in that Voyager episode, in one of the good Voyager episodes. You remember what I'm talking about, Brian?
No, actually, I don't.
Space Moby Dick?
I think that. So here's a fun fact about me. I actually think that I've never finished Voyager. I forgot. Yeah, there's a later season one. Well, don't worry, we'll get to it. Yeah, definitely. We'll get there.
He played Bishop Francis Molyneux in Zork Nemesis. This guy's got like a million credits. That's my favorite one. But yeah, so he's a famous, he's a very prolific Irish actor who was working up to 2 years before his death.
Are we talking about Creepy Grandpa? Is that what we're talking about?
Creepy Grandpa. So let me hold on one second. Oh yeah, okay. So they have a touching memorial scene. All of his friends and family are there. Picard's there. The hot Vulcan scientist that he sexually harassed is there. Wesley Crusher is there.
For
Troy
some reason
is there.
Yeah.
His underage
Wesley
assistant
Crusher, who he insulted, is there. His underage assistant that he also sexually harassed is there.
I'm very glad he called Wesley Crusher boy and not fucking
Yeah.
That would have been a very different episode.
Yeah.
When he was talking to Wesley, I was like, I actually kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
I like his style.
Yeah.
That's kind of old school energy they need here on the Starship Enterprise.
Wesley really needs this kind of pain in his life, because everybody's coddling that little.
Yeah, he's a
sicko.
walking participation trophy.
Yeah.
he really. I mean, we've talked to death about how much we especially I hate Wesley. He's an awful character. I don't think he has like any redeeming qualities. He's even shitty like later on when he gets way better. But he's the little one wounder kid, which is literally how they fucking describe him in a previous episode. He's the wounder kid.
Fuck off.
I know he's fucking. It's obnoxious. I hate it. He's a little bit.
And it doesn't help that he sucks in real life too.
I've given up. I've given up defending Wesley Crusher, and like for the beginning of this, I was like, "Oh, everybody gives this kid a bad rap," and then I'm just like, "Nah, this kid fucking sucks. It deserves everything."
I mean,
he's the worst kind of.
The last one I did with you guys, they went to fuck planet and he almost got like himself executed by breaking the one rule, like you little shit. Yeah. Everyone was getting off and having a great time and having no strings attached alien orgies, and then this fucking Wesley kid had to come and create an intergalactic incident.
Yeah,
come on.
I really need to go get that Kazoran now. I'll explain why later. So now we get famous Data speech. He's talking. He wants to say some words before they launch this guy out into space. He says, "I wish I had just written it down. I just repeat it here because there's no fucking way I can insert a clip of it because it's way too long."
Yeah, it's like an hour of just him being like, "This guy was so cool.
He was so cool.
He was so cool. As old as he died, he was still so virile. His fucking cock was like so huge. Everyone fucking loved him, but he never touched a girl."
And the best thing about him was just how fucking humble he was. Like, he would have never told you that about himself. He cared about other people too much.
Yeah. And they really harp on the line, to know him is to love him. To love him is to know.
Which Wesley fucking loved for some fucking reason. I don't understand what that was about.
We'll get to that in a second. But so then Picard's like, Data, what the you're being cringe. Stop it. And it is like, one second, sir, almost done. And Picard's like, you are done. Get the fuck up there.
Picard pulled rank on him to get him to shut the fuck up.
Picard literally just had a cane and pulled him off stage. So the scene after his corpse is just floating in space. We cut to his corpse floating in space, and we cut back to Picard and Data having a little side by side, having a little sit down, shoulder to shoulder on the couch. They're talking man to man here, and it's like, Data, you're being really cringe. Be less cringe. You're super crazy right now. You're trying too hard, Data. And Data. And Data's like, okay, I'm sorry. I just loved my grandpa so much. And then as we depart, Data's whistling the same fucking tune down the turbulent.
Dun.
In case you weren't aware, in case you hadn't figured out what was happening in this episode yet, now it hits you over the head with a frying pan.
Yeah, alternate theory. Maybe the writer was like, okay, it's clear like immediately what happened, but then also maybe the dumbasses out in Peoria are not going to really appreciate this. We gotta fucking hammer this shit home. So and I'm speculating like, oh, where are they supposed to know? What are you not supposed to know? But we've largely transitioned out of the truly hack writing stage of TNG. Thank fucking God. So I think you were supposed to know. Well, so Wesley Crusher is insulting Data's amazing speech on the bridge. He's like, to know him is to love him, and Data's like, you're a fucking kid, you wouldn't get it. Shut up, I'm a fucking genius. You're an idiot.
That was a great speech, Data. To know him is to love him is to know him.
Verbal composition at its most sophisticated level. Your childlike mind cannot appreciate the time-worn wisdom of my words.
Childlike mind?
When you get to be my age, you will understand.
Your age? Data, chronologically, you're not much older than I am.
Well, you are only as old as you feel. Try to remember that, boy.
Yeah.
I will put a clip there. It's fucking
Get
hilarious.
his ass.
Get him, yeah. It's like watching Trump like insult someone that you also don't like. It's like, there we go.
I'm trying to get it right now. Okay.
Canceled. You're all canceled.
So and then Picard brings his assistants onto the bridge, and Picard's like, oh yes, because you have an interest in science and various aspects of French culture, you can accompany me back to the back of the bridge. And Data starts fucking seething. He sees the assistant. He sees underage child slave talking to another man, the only other man that she's ever spoken to in her entire adult life, presumably. He accuses Picard of like, oh, but you want to fuck her, you're jealous, and he just like starts screaming. They have like a little like back and forth. He starts like saying things under his breath.
Yeah, it's some real beta shit. He's like, I raised this girl for 25 years.
Oh, Jesus. When you put it like that, it's so fucking
another man.
He's just like, I've been cultivating this fruit for ages, and I have yet to pluck it and taste its splendor. How dare you, Picard?
Just keep thinking of grosser metaphors over and over again.
After Picard's done with her, she's gonna be all used up. It's gonna be like
she's gonna lose her value as a femoid.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, get your puking out. Okay.
Everyone retire to your puke bucket for a moment.
I regret this bit.
Does Picard pull chicks like throughout the run of the show? Is that something he?
A couple times, a few times he does.
Maybe you've heard of Beverly Crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pulls Beverly. He pulls Beverly hard.
Please at some point like throw in the fucking.
Don't worry. I still got it saved.
Right now, I find you extremely, extremely. Of course, we haven't time for that sort of thing.
What sort of thing?
Oh, God, would I love to show you.
Doctor, there must be a cure, some formula.
Does Wesley take that well? Finding out that his mom is doing the dance with the captain.
Well, they've got kind of mixed emotions because Picard also killed his dad.
What?
Yeah.
He didn't know.
He killed his dad and fucked his mom.
Yeah, basically. And also
that's why this fucking old weird dude that downloaded himself into Data's brain is so offended, because never before has he been in the presence of such like a Chad, you know.
Yeah. And Picard goes on to sire another child with Beverly. Later on, as revealed in Star Trek Picard Season 3. Which I have not watched yet, but apparently, and I now have this from reliable sources, aka Red Letter Media, that Season 3 of Picard, shockingly good in comparison to what came before it. I still don't believe, even good friends of mine, I don't believe that when they tell me that Strange New Worlds ended up being good, because I fucking hated the first episode. I hated the first episode of Strange New Worlds so much. I hated it so much. But apparently Picard Season 3 actually interesting, kind of Star Trek too, like not bad. I'm convinced that Patrick Stewart has just completely lost his ability to act. But apart from that, it actually seems like it's not that bad. Sorry, spoilers for Picard Season 3, I guess. Even though it's well, no, they kind of reveal it. Well, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Don't watch Picard. Don't watch New Trek. Do you subscribe to Paramount Plus? Are you fucking kidding me? Get off of there. What are you doing? Stop enabling them. So
great. Well, now we'll never get that sponsorship.
So very, very interesting philosophical question is raised immediately, because Troy senses Data's intense jealousy, and wait a second, Troy is sensing Data's emotions with her fucking magic telepathy. But what are the metaphysical implications of? Oh
yeah, he doesn't have a brain. How does that work?
Well, yeah. Well, it's not even that he like she can sense, like, I don't know. Well, they try to explain like psionic abilities with various, like, oh, they're like waves that they travel through like the medium of space and in some way, but it's never like and there's like ways to mitigate that, and you can also scan for like telepathic activity, so it's not like magic, but also, if it's not magic, then how the fuck can Troy suddenly start sensing emotions? Like,
well, like in the examples we see in this episode, it's like she just is being observant. Like, this is like those people on TikTok, they're like, as an empath. Yeah. Like, no, you're just like can sense like human there's nothing special. You're not special, Leanna Troy.
Yeah,
you're not an empath.
You just think you're special because
you just saw this guy like kind of have a little breakdown in front of you. You're like, oh, I think he's being a bit emotional according to my my abilities.
Yeah, Troy is the world's leading body language expert.
Yeah, true and real.
And we did have a there is a sort of like a running joke throughout TNG that well, not throughout TNG, but some people talk about it, which I quite like, which are various fan interpretations of the characters. One of them is that Troy is like a fraudster because and this is actually less the case earlier on. She has like more concrete like powers in season 1, but throughout the rest of the series, she just like delivers exposition of like characters' emotional states that are exceedingly obvious or that just don't really contribute anything. So the my interpretation is that she's not telepathic in any way. She just she just lied. She just lied about it in order to get a job on the Enterprise. It's like that person who's like sweating and looking around like a character from LA Noire. Oh yeah, he's lying. Press X. Excuse me. Yeah, this is like the smartest fucking guy in the world, but he just does not understand how to play it cool. And he had like a really good out when like Picard takes him back into his writing room to be like, Data, what the fuck was that out there? Where Picard's like Data, run a self-diagnostic, and he could have just been like, oh yeah, I've run a diagnostic. Oh wait, there is a problem. I'm having a feedback loop in my thing. I need to go back to my room and reprocess. And then he just, he goes back and takes a minute. He's being like, okay, I'm not acting sufficiently like an android. I got to maintain my cover. But actually, there's an out for that later. I wrote that down, but no, they explain it. They explain it further on. So they run so he runs a self-diagnostic and he's like, oh, nothing's wrong, and Picard's like, for the first time for as long as I've known you, for the first time I don't believe you. And so they're like, okay, Data, go down to engineering, we're gonna run the laser beam head test on you, for which Data won't just stop like fidgeting. Brett Spider is such a good actor. Can I say that?
He really is.
Yeah,
he did a great job in this episode. I was very impressed.
He has consistently done some really great performances, because he's like a character. He's a real fucking character actor here. I really don't actually recall seeing him in like anything besides the Subway commercial one time, but like the way that he plays Data is just like so, and his like cadence and stuff. It took a while to sort out in the early seasons, but he's fucking got it down. It's amazing. And then in the many times in which he's asked to play a different character or like something's wrong with him, they nail it. He nails it completely. Like excellent. Like so he's being him. He's fidgeting around. Troy suggests that maybe there's something wrong with Data's mind, since they can't find anything wrong with his circuitry. And then Troy brings him into to the counseling room and subjects him to the Voight-Comp test from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Which mostly consists of screenshots just from the show.
Yeah,
it's screenshots from the show.
Who took these pictures?
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't know they don't know, like Picard and Geordi, they don't know what exactly is going on, and Geordi's like, well, Picard. Geordi goes to Picard and he's like, well, Data, sometimes he gets like really close to being human and he gets like uncanny and he gets confused when it happens. Like Data, like he's desperately trying to explain what's happening, and Troy comes in and is like, nope. After making him look at some pictures, I've determined that he is actually subject to multiple personalities. One of them is an anarchist and hates authority, and the other one is Data. So like, even though he's misogynist and breadpilled. He hates the reason he hates Picard is because he hates anyone having any kind of authority over him whatsoever. Cool, based. All right. Thank you, Mr. Scientist. They go seek out Data, who should be in his quarters because Picard ordered him to do so, but they don't go to his quarters and like, where is Data? They check, like, and he's in 10 forward. So this is the scene. Data reveals to his assistant the doctor Ira. He reveals to his assistant that, no, I'm inside Data, and she's like, no, what? No, you're Data. You're not anyone else. But she he's like, no, listen, it's me. It's me. I'm me. I took over Data's body. And she's like, starts crying. He's like, you're not gonna get away with this. And I kind of read at this moment that he was like intentionally dehumanizing Data early on because so because he recognized that maybe he would be able to move his brain into him at some point. His assistant is not happy about this, and he's like, no, I'll build you a body. I'll build you an immortal android body. We can watch the end of the universe together. And she's not happy with it, which, like, yeah, cool, fair, all right.
Fair. Incredibly fair. I mean, the way this motherfucker acts, it's like, would you really want to spend the rest of eternity talking to someone who's just going to keep grabbing your ass and calling you toots? I don't think so.
Not after meeting other people.
Oh yeah, the reason she's crying is because she thought he was finally dead and he's not.
Right?
Oh god, it's so dark.
She hasn't met any other people. This is like when you break up with your 8th grade girlfriend and then go wait outside the high school, like, hey, we can be together again, and she's like, actually there's like some pretty cool guys here, and like I just think like, we gotta spread our wings, and it's okay, but like, please don't break my hand in 2 places.
Oh yeah, he's like squeezing. He starts squeezing her hand at the end of this conversation. So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier with the tell don't show nature of this guy's genius, where like, okay, so Picard, the Vulcan, and Troy, they're talking about what this guy was working on. So apparently he was working on bridging the gap between man and machine. They didn't say that at the beginning? Did Plasky say that? What did they specify? Because it's clear because like, he says that he taught Noonien Sue, Data's creator, everything he knows. So like, but we don't know exactly what that means. And apparently it becomes clear, like, oh no, he does do cybernetics, but he was working on bridging the gap between human and computer or whatever the fuck. And Picard starts like waxing philosophical. He starts like citing poetry, and he's like, well, he may have achieved this. Because they figure out that he's in Data, and he's like, he may have achieved this, and now I'm gonna have to tear down this brilliant achievement. And it's like, okay, it's interesting. Picard's got interesting priorities here, but like, Picard apparently really wants to like put his brain in a computer when he dies, and now he's pissed that he has to get rid of the possibility of that happening. That's what I choose to believe. There's a God, this episode, I couldn't stop thinking about the fucking TNG edit of this episode. Picard walks over to Data in the when he's hanging out in engineering, and it's framed kind of interestingly, because engineering has multiple like decks, and there's just like a big hole in the middle that people fall through all the time. Multiple people have like fallen through this, and it's like fucking.
They should
glass.
put a net there.
Yeah, seriously. That'd be great.
Like at those factories in China. So yeah, put a net.
Oh yeah, if they put a net there to save the workers from killing themselves, then it's true communism.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's how you know you've made it.
People have died already by falling off this fucking thing. Like it really seems like they're not.
And they weren't even trying.
Yeah, true. Like
they weren't trying to, so like, come on.
Someone by like knocking him through the glass.
Do they have OSHA?
There's
no OSHA.
That's a great
apparently.
question. No, it's just all handled internally by Starfleet. So you don't need
by the party. It's all handled internally by the party.
By the Vanguard party.
Very quietly.
Yeah.
I love this scene. Picard and Data, they're talking back and forth. Picard's like Data, I know who you are. You're Ira. I'm gonna come up there. I'm gonna fight you. When he crests the upper, he doesn't actually see that. They're talking back and forth. Like, I can't let you do what I can't let you do this. I can't let you seize Data. And then he goes back up. He takes the elevator upwards, and immediately we see oh shit, if Data's like killed Geordi and some other guy, just like laying on the ground.
He's committing hate crimes up there.
Yeah, seriously. So Picard is like so you wanted to try to preserve yourself, but something went wrong. I actually really like this back and forth. It's like this good writing in this episode. Honestly, they're talking back and forth like the Doctor in Data, he understands that like something is going wrong with him. He keeps referring to Geordi and the other unconscious person as like accidents, and Picard's like, you tried to cheat death, but you failed, you fucked up. How many lives should you take so that you could preserve your own like this parody of your own existence, and he's so cool. Picard gets too close. He starts spitting. He spits too many facts and logic at him, and then just boom, Data fucking backhands him. He spins around,
slaps the taste out of his mouth, and it's just fucking.
He gets fucking laid out. Like the man falls like 3 falls at once. Just the sheer force behind that backhand from Data.
He fell over. He falls down again. He bounces off the ground.
Yeah, he fell over like he was the Rock trying to sell a stunner. And it's just...
He flies through the air, does like 5 flips, and fucking lands. It's like some Mortal Kombat shit.
So the scientist is like the scientist is like, how many, after he knocks out Picard, is like, how many more accidents must there be? So he's clearly like wrestling with himself here. He knows that like, no, this is an imperfect copy of my own consciousness. I've committed crimes. I'm attempting to steal this being's life, and unspoken here, because unfortunately the episode ends like right after this. Like unspoken here is him like recognizing like the sanctity of Data's life and the respect for it that he like didn't show before. So he has like an arc. He has like a growth arc. It's cool. Doctor, and immediately afterwards, he leaves, and Dr. Pulaski is reviving Picard after an unknown amount of time. Everyone's okay, and they go to find Data, who is laying just flat down on his ass in his quarters. It's extremely it's comedically, like intentionally comedically obvious that it's Data, like the moment he starts speaking, and then they're like, oh my god, Ira, he transferred himself into Data's computer on his desk, but apparently it's also the computer of the Enterprise. I thought initially, and maybe I just didn't think the episode was going to be over right now. I wasn't looking at the time, but I thought initially they were gonna now have to struggle with, he's taken over the Enterprise computer. He's put himself in the Enterprise, which is the plot of another episode that we're gonna get to in
I think that was one of the other ones that I watched, was that there was like something took over the Enterprise and was like controlling it.
Well, a few things have taken over the Enterprise, but I'm guessing you saw the one with Barclay, which I think is called The Nth Degree, which is a very good episode. It's like one of the top 10 for sure.
Love Barclay episodes.
Love Barclay. Yeah, Barclay's a great character.
Is there ever any future reference to the fact that Space Howard Hughes' soul is in a computer on the Enterprise? Do they never? Well, so this wealth of knowledge, this human equation of his, which is like apparently so important that they almost sacrificed thousands of people's lives.
Yeah, they were considering it. They were thinking about it.
Never ever comes in handy ever. Very cool.
Yeah. They, homie, let me explain something to you. They literally created like an entire consciousness on their ship that could have like set forward like the even further than what they are. Like they tripped over their own dicks into creating like sentient just existence, like not necessarily life, but just like created a whole like mental construct. They never taught, and they put it into a thumb drive and threw it in a drawer.
Yeah, that's Moriarty. Yep.
Yeah, that's Zot's trying to talk about the Moriarty episode. Of course, Zot's has not seen, because that's the rube. He's not seen the follow up to the Moriarty episode, which is even more awful. Where it is revealed that yes, indeed, they just dropped that plot completely. They never thought about it. They were content for this being that they created, the sentient living being that they created, to just sit there eternally. But that's not the case here, because they say specifically that it's not his consciousness. He doesn't have any of the actual properties of his consciousness. It is just like a basic translation of the summary of this guy's knowledge just onto the computer. Do they ever mention that knowledge coming in handy in the future? No, I don't think so. But he himself is not like inside the Enterprise computer now. But
just some engrams, just a couple of engrams as a treat.
His feet in his computer.
His thetan levels have been uploaded to the computer. He left most of his old thetans back at in his body, but a couple came with him to the computer, and that's Dianetics, everybody.
This is also going to censor anything even tangentially related to Scientology.
Coward.
It's going to be
you, coward.
So many fucking bleeps in this episode. I don't know if I actually do that. It depends on how funny it is. Yeah, I'll think about it. So there's lots of implications here. Interesting stuff, but they got to wrap this shit up. And they're like, well, all right, he transferred himself into the computer. I guess he fucked up. He killed himself. The end. And it's over. So we very recently adopted a new thing. We rate the episode. Brian, please rate this episode out of 8 Thetans trapped in your soul, crying to get out, and unclear as to whether or not they got transferred into your android body.
I'm going to give it 6 thetans out of 8.
All right.
Because I want those thetans to really weigh me down. Just like this episode was weighed down by a couple of choices, but it was mostly good.
Yeah. Zots, please rate this episode out of one fruit yet to be plucked. 0, 0, 1. You're the binary rating. Recommend, not recommend.
Yes or no.
Oh God, I want for as far away from this bit as possible right now. Oh, look at that! Oh, I got to cross the street now. I'm sorry.
I'm borrowing your memes, Zots. You calling me a coward just because I
don't want it. You can have it. It's all on the ground. It's fine. I don't want it.
Do you recommend the episode?
Do I recommend the episode?
Do you like it?
Do I recommend this episode?
0 out of 1.
No.
0 out of 1 or 1 out of 1?
0. I don't recommend this episode at all. Yeah, I don't recommend this episode at all. It's
this is not a fruit waiting to be plucked. Understood.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, no. This is not an episode where I'd be like, yeah, actually, this is what saved the series for me. No.
Eliot, please rate the episode out of 180 IQ.
I'm gonna give it like out of 180 IQ, I'll give it like 95. I really liked Brent Spiner's performance in here. It was really fun watching him do his thing. I genuinely was like looking forward to seeing what Crazy Data was gonna do. But yeah, then there were some other elements that didn't really click for me or left a lot of unanswered questions. But yeah, I mean, I could. Brent Spiner's great. Love to watch him act. That was the central appeal of this episode. And I'd say if you're into Data, this is a good Data episode.
I'm gonna out of 3 backhanded Enterprise crew I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 3. I thought on the basis not only of Brett Spider's acting, but also on the basis of the writing. I think there was just so many just lines. I'm just a sucker for like, I hear a line that I like really like, and I like get kind of like obsessed with it. I like want to like deconstruct it. There was just so many.
You call me the rube.
There were so many lines in this episode that I just love. Obviously, enhanced greatly by the talent of the players here. We got fucking Patrick Stewart. We got William Morgan Shepherd himself, the late William Morgan Shepherd. And Brent Spiner here. They're talking at one another. Now that's not 100% rating from me. That's like I don't know. It's like a two,
you're
like
damaging your own
up.
scale right now.
No, well, listen.
How dare you?
Well, the 3 out of see that's the genius with the 3 out of 3 scale. It's very vibes based, you know, because a 3 out of 3, like I could like something and think it's very entertaining and then rate it a 3 out of 3, and I could think that it's an absolute masterpiece and rate it a 3 out of 3. So
it's like a Rotten Tomatoes 3 out of 3.
Yeah, yeah, it's like Roger and Ebert, like 2.5
game review. Like a game review, like back in the early aughts, where it would be like, "Oh yeah, this game's an 8 out of 10," and then like you read like the summation or like the actual article, and it's just like, "Do not play this fucking game. It is dog shit. Nothing good happens." And
it's like the IGN, the Harry Potter review. It's like, this game sucks. It's boring. We've seen a million games like it. It's directly contributing to harm throughout the world, and it's just awful. The fucking story doesn't make sense. It's buggy, it's broken. This is one of the worst gaming experiences I've ever had, and this is the worst and the worst. The Ubisoft trash. 9 out of 10. Great.
They paid for a 9 out of 10, so we're good with that.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But I actually liked a lot about this episode. Oh my god, William Morgan Shepherd was the narrator for Civ 5.
What?
Holy
Interesting.
Shit. Holy
what? Okay.
Shit.
Now you're speaking my language.
Wow. Damn. Now
we're cooking with gas.
Now we're cooking here. I love this guy's my favorite actor of all time. This fucking Civ. God, that's crazy. Holy shit. Civ 5 I think is still my most played game on Steam, even though I haven't played it in like 10 years or something.
Damn.
As a tribute to William Morgan Shepherd, 3 out of 3. I actually like this. I actually liked a lot of this. A lot of problems. A problematic fave, if you will. This episode.
Yeah.
Shit. I think that you know what? I don't know where I'm going with this. That's Left Track, folks.
Left Track. Wow.
Yeah. And we'll have. Well, first, any closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts on this episode?
Head empty. Brent Spiner, call me.
Brent Spiner, shoot me a call. Can't wait till you show up in Picard season 3 as Lore, baby.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I think it's appropriate to end this episode of Electric as abruptly as this episode itself.